At this point you're watching, I'm probably in Malaysia. I'm bringing my family there for a quick 3-day 2-night. And I'll be updating this community on what's happening exactly in Malacca, because that is a place that I'm very familiar with. I like to go about that discussion of family time versus career. So if you're keen to find out some perspective as well as what's happening in Malaysia and Malacca, do smash on the subscribe button. And also, if this discussion later has some points that you agree with, smash on the like button. So without further ado, let's dive on to the case. Today we have an interesting case, and you can actually see it as a reaction video. But more importantly, hopefully you can bring away some points just in case there are similarities that you have to the current situation. So let's dive on to things. Combined income $110,000, current age of 34. Current bank account is about 10 to 20,000 of emergency funds. I guess that was because it was shared that 1.5 to 2k of personal expenses, and that's about 6 to 9 months calculation. So personal emergency funds about 10 to 20k. There's some investment into stock from the joint account managed by her husband. Later I'll touch on it in a while. They've just gotten BTO and they have actually a young kid. And more importantly, right now she's pregnant and awaiting second kid to come. So definitely more expenses. Money has been set aside for renovation and kid already. So I presume this is from the joint account, because a lot has been mentioned about the joint account. Personally, she has some fixed deposits and endowment plans, and that's outside of that 10 to 20k of emergency cash. In terms of percentage breakdown of take-home pay, 25% is towards personal expenses, which includes of course food and transport. We all have that. 15% is towards savings, and 60% is other expenses. Insurance, parental allowance, household spending, and child spending. Now coming to here, my first critique is that this breakdown, it's not thorough enough. When you want to audit and make certain improvements, go a lot more detailed. We cannot see where the money is going exactly. How much is insurance? We need to know whether there are parts to change in that whole insurance portfolio, or is it even bought correctly or not. Because right now she has one kid, correct? And there's another kid coming in a couple months time. As a young parent, it is definitely important to be sufficiently covered. For death and critical illness, it's quite possible you need 10 years of annual income to be covered. And the question typically is, how much of early critical illness insurance should there be? Early critical illness, if you're not familiar with it, it's conditions that are less severe, like early stage cancer, where the cells are not spreading. Typically, full recovery is not too difficult. That's why usually I'll advocate, if budgets are tight, early CI, early critical illness is not a priority. But if budgets can afford, my suggestion of how to cut back is probably 1 year of annual income will do. So early CI, don't cover too much, it's pretty expensive. But death and late stage CI, you need to cover adequately. Speak to a qualified advisor if you're unsure, because there's loans, there's young children on board. And of course, hopefully she's done will, because they are minors. So will writing, you can actually find a lawyer, which is more expensive because they may charge by per hour, or you can go to a specialized will writer. And looking at this, I would like to suggest things also, because I realize only 15% is saved, which means 25% personal expenses, 60% other expenses. The amount saved is quite low, and I would like to suggest to really, between the couple, understand that they need to stretch every dollar more. Because finance is it's all little choices. There's not like $100 thing that you can cut away, or $1,000 thing you can cut away. It's not likely the case. It's usually due to habits. For example, break down exactly dining. Because now we're trying to do audit, correct? We're trying to improve. Is there alcohol in the budget? Just in case you go to restaurants and you get 1 pint of beer that costs you $9 even if happy hour. Or are there drinks or desserts in the typical restaurant bill or not? Because if that is a habit, you realize that stacks on $7, $9 in every meal, and things snowball. Is there Starbucks consumption or not? Because it's nothing against Starbucks. And I've also heard this thing that you save $4 or $5 rather than going to typically kopi siu dai. You go Starbucks. That $4 or $5 won't move the needle. But again, finance is habitual. It's accumulation of small choices. Are there cab rides that can pull back or not? Because she's only mentioned transport. If there are cab rides that's being spent, because sometimes wake up late, then make sure that part is tightened. Because couple-wise, there must be some accountability. There is urgency to make changes. I guess if questions like that come in, like where are we? There is deep down some seeded fear that they're probably not on the right track, or they're probably behind their peers. They can see it already. Stretch every dollar also applies to discount. Look for Burper Beyond, Entertainer, Shopee. Go for any reward. You can really pull back and make each dollar work harder. Now all our expenses are going up already. You go to buy Mee Pok, it's $3.50. I just bought prata, it used to be $1, now it's $1.10. Everything is getting more expensive. I've suggested on this channel before, expect food inflation to be high simply because we have war. You see wheat, soybean, sunflower oil from Ukraine, Russia evaporating from the market. Food price will stay high for 2022. Get in tune already. No two ways to avoid that. There's no mention about loan, so hopefully that loan is fully payable by both CPF OA. Second kid, there's going to be more expenses. That's why that cash is going to be needed. There is going to be diapers. There is going to be milk. There's going to be infant care. So these, if you're a young parent, you do know, unavoidable. And if there's a home loan that's using cash, big problem. The expense will shoot up. That 15% saved, I'm even concerned whether that will be still available moving forward. So stretching the budget, stretching each dollar is very important. Start the audit now and start making a change now. So that when there's a pay increment, how about that? When there's a pay increment, you are used to keeping budgets tight. You can start to invest more. Then that's where you see good results. She's mentioned also that she has fixed deposits and endowment plans. Fixed deposits, I don't really like it. I think fixed deposits are a scarcity mindset product. Retirees, when they get fixed deposits, I understand it's better than keeping in the bank, because bank account you can get scam like the OCBC saga. But for young working adults, fixed deposit, you put 50,000 in with 1%, you only get $500. That doesn't move the needle, correct? So no point, don't waste time there. This $500, you can just do a part-time job, you can make that money. And very often there are high interest accounts that can even pay that 1% rate. There's no need to go to fixed deposits. UOB one account, OCBC 365 account, these are high interest accounts that off the top of my head I can even come up with them. But again, fixed D is a scarcity mindset thing. I don't like that because it's very passive and it gives that sense of money is not enough, I need to stash it away, rather than try and find ways to grow it actively. Even if that monies are meant to be emergency cash, fixed deposits, you park it there 12 months, you can't touch it. You might as well roll into Singapore savings bonds. Singapore savings bond rates are going up. For the latest June one is 1 year 1.69%. For 3 years, average wise is 2.37%. Definitely makes sense. And just now we mentioned new BTO, correct? There is mortgage loan, even if it's paid by CPF. Why can't this fixed deposit be used to pay off that mortgage? Because that mortgage is definitely going to cost more than 1%. So fixed Ds for young working adults, avoid that product. It's a scarcity mindset product. Doesn't help you in your journey. But does that mean to invest anyhow or not? Because right now it's mentioned that husband manages the stocks. That's probably from the joint account. That's my guess. And he has some crypto purchases from his own personal account. I'll touch on crypto in a while. And there's also a further question. From the age of 33 to 35, besides emergency cash, how much savings is good at this age? I'll answer that in a quick while also. But let's talk about stock investing. My guess, if there's some financial insecurities, the investment part is not done well. That's my gut feeling. If not, there will be surplus in cash. There will be a sense of able to attain financial independence quite easily, because proper investments not easy to do. It requires an ability to read annual reports, a passion to do analysis work, and an ability to handle emotions when markets move up and down. My guess is the stock investments are not doing that well. Then again, the logic is to buy diversified. Buy S&P 500. Although I'm not a fan as of right now because of my preference of not being too much in tech. But being diversified over long term would definitely work better than picking stocks without research and going with a gambling approach. Or simplify it, go with STI. Hold it in CDB account, very passive. Just chuck it there. STI ETF invest 50% into banks, and we do know OCBC, DBS, UOB are going to be sound. But the main part is also, it's not really what is invested. It's also how much that is pumped in. You can buy the right stock, but you buy $2,000. It's not going to change your life. You much rather focus buying broad base and you keep adding more and more. How much being invested is more important. And that beats the point also. Can there be amounts that's pulled back from the renovation? Because just not mentioned that there's set aside some budgets for renovation already. My suggestion is to pull back very hard on the renovation. You can go to Malaysia to buy furniture. Now we have the Causeway open already, correct? Go there to buy fan, go there to buy coffee table. That's what I did. Pull back on the renovation hard, spend as little as you can. At the 5-year mark, there's going to be property agents pitching to you to sell the BTO. And the question is, will you be staying in the BTO after 5 years? I think that's a big question mark. We don't know. Not that selling or not selling is the right thing. But if that home is sold away, then spending too much in renovation is not needed. So you think about it and anticipate what can change. Simply because there could be new demands due to school and stuff. So moving house after 5 years is actually quite possible. And just now you mentioned about cryptocurrency. Personally, I own quite a bit in Ethereum. I've shared it before on the main channel. But cryptocurrencies in this bear market phase, we are clearly seeing that those who are trading for profits have been burned. I see Ethereum coins as generational wealth. I buy Ethereum coins with the intention of passing on to my kids. 10 coins, that is my intention. It goes up or down, really doesn't matter. There is excess cash to buy into it. So I'm concerned also. Crypto trading, if budgets are tight, avoid that. That approach is not likely going to be rewarding. So simplify the whole wealth building process, which answers the next question also. At the age of 33 to 35, how much savings or how much net asset is the right amount at this point? Maybe you also had that question. But again, this whole wealth building process is you against yourself. There's no right number because everybody's earning power is different. Everybody's expenses and family situation is different. So it's you against yourself. But I do have numbers through my own research to suggest that at the age of 65, a couple should have about $1.6 million worth of combined assets for retirement to get an average lifestyle. So $1.6 million, if I'm correct, keep that as a very long-term benchmark. And that explains one thing. Don't upgrade the house unless you are sure you can hit 1.6 million net asset. Find ways to keep earning more money, especially if you find yourself very far away from $1.6 million at the age of 65. So hopefully that answers. But I've got a more important point, which is this. Train yourself to see bigger numbers in your net asset. If right now you have 100,000 in stock, think how it looks like if it's 500,000. If you have 500,000 invested, train yourself to think how you look like when it's $1 million. When you train yourself to see and handle bigger amounts, you're going to feel financially secure. You're going to be more able to handle your money prudently. Not trying to sprint to retirement, but really enjoying the process of growing. So train yourself to see bigger numbers and be confident of dreaming a bit bigger. You know, when people have shared stories that they've lost 30 kg, you know, those who are extremely obese and they've managed to cut 30 kg. If you ask them, they'll typically share that they've actually tried something and managed to lose 1 or 2 kg at the start. That's where they start to believe, hey, I am seeing results. I'm quite happy with it. Why not I persevere? Then they start to lose 5, 10 kg. Then they keep moving in that momentum until now they're super fit and they've lost 30 kg in total. So it's always like that. You aim for something, you see some small results, then it fuels you to enjoy the process of building. There's no magic number, but if you keep challenging yourself to see a bigger number and enjoy the process of getting there, you realize that financial freedom is not beyond you. So hopefully this is a message that resonated with you. Again, smash the like button if you've benefited from this discussion. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.